Hello and welcome to the Intermission podcast. I'm Fabian, that's Isaiah. We're a Dallas sports podcast. Um, we got an episode once again this week. The Stars and Cowboys remain somewhat, they're chugging along in their off seasons. Training camp has started. Technically, the NFL preseason has started, but still nothing major from either of them. Just rumors and speculation. So we're not gonna talk about much today. Um, Isaiah's back, and I think we're just gonna hop right into it with the Wings. Tell me about
The Wings had a 4-game week this week, and during these 4 games, they went 1-3. Starting on July 25th, they lost against the Golden State Valkyries 86-76. Paige Beckers led it in points and assists with 17 points and 6 assists, and Luisa Geisel's led in rebounds with 9, along with Beckers 17 points. Enrique Agumbawale scored 16. Azia James scored 13, and Haley Jones scored 10 for Dallas. And the thing that sucks about this game is that the Wings held the Valkyries to 30 points in the first half. But during the second half, in the third quarter, the Valkyries scored 33 points, taking a 63-60 lead heading into the fourth. So the Wings still continue to struggle finishing out the second half of the game. They've been doing a lot better the first half of the game, but now it's showing that they're struggling or they're running out of gas to end the game.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks. And on July 27th, the Wings lost a pretty big one to the Las Vegas Aces, losing 106-80. Enrique led in points with 18. Tierra McCowan led in rebounds with 13. And J.J. Quinterly led in assists with 5. And along with Enrique's 18 points, Haley Jones added 15 points and Dejanay Carrington added 14. And Tierra McCowan added 12 with her 13 rebounds. For this game, Dallas only had 12 turnovers, which is still not that good, but better than any of the other games they had with their turnovers. The only thing that sucks is that the Aces turned those 12 turnovers into 26 points, while the Wings only got 10 points off of 10 turnovers. Really not much to say about that game other than the Aces are a veteran team, so it's not that shocking that they were able to turn those turnovers into points. And the Wings just had to learn how to convert the other team's turnovers to getting more points as well. July 28th, they lost another big one to the New York Liberty. Or no, actually, they won against the New York Liberty. Sorry,
Yeah, I thought so.
I didn't update the score. But they won against the New York Liberty, and they won 92-82. I think this was a pretty impressive win, knowing that the New York Liberty were having a good season. New York Liberty were 17-8, I believe. During that game, Paige Beckers led in points with 20. Dejanay Carrington led in rebounds with 9. And Enrique Agumbawale led in assists with 14 assists, which is actually pretty cool. The Wings led 31-19 after the first quarter and extended their lead to 63-36 at halftime. And Dallas led 85-62 through the 3 quarters. But a 3-pointer from Azia Isaiah James, with about 7 minutes remaining, was the Wings' only basket of the final quarter.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so they're still continuing the struggle to close out the second half of the game. Along with Paige's 20 points, Enrique also had 20 points with her 14 assists. And Enrique's 20 points and 14 assists, Enrique Agumbalawi became the first player in WNBA history to have at least 15 points and 10 assists in one half. So that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
So I think this is actually a pretty good sign, showing that with veterans like Enrique, she can play really well with these rookies right now. Really, I think at this point the only thing holding them back is the chemistry. And for the final game, July 30th, the Wings played the Atlanta Dream and lost 85-88. This was a pretty close loss. This game was actually pretty close. I was paying more attention to this game, and it was pretty close until like the fourth quarter. It came down to a game-winning shot, but Paige Beckers led in points with 21, and I believe she led in assists too with 7 assists, and Luisa Geiselzoder again led in rebounds with only 4. Paige Beckers scored 9 points in the last 5 minutes, and Paige Beckers makes this her 11th 20-point game this season. This was the sequence that made the Dream win. The Dream made a layup with a backdoor cut that gave the Dream a 2-point lead with 34 seconds left, and Enrique answered with the fadeaway jump shot with 21 seconds left before Hillman on the Atlanta Dream hit a game winner. So this is a pretty good game. This game could have very well went into overtime, and I believe the Wings could have won in overtime. But I know, like I've been saying, with some of their losses, even though they lost, it's not necessarily good. But I think this is a pretty good looking loss. But these four games, kind of sucks that they won only one game. But I think the Dallas Wings are improving a little bit. They just still struggle with closing out the second half of the game. The next game for the Dallas Wings will be on Friday, August 1st. So tonight, as of recording this video, they will play the Indiana Fever for the third matchup of the season. And speaking of the game tonight, Maddie Siegrist is reported to return this game after missing the last 17 games, recovering from a fracture in her right knee. So this is a pretty good player that the Wings have been missing for a while, and hopefully she can bounce back like Enrique did. Do you have anything to add to the Wings?
Not really. I mean, it's like you say, and like we've been saying from the start of the season, it seems like we have the one truly awful quarter. Usually it's in the second half, But we have like the one truly awful quarter that is really what torpedoes the game, and it's just been more of that. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. You can almost definitely tell that the Wings have definitely improved. They're not really or they're still having bad quarters,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not as bad as like getting blown out like how they used to be.
Right.
Um, but some of their games have ended up being like real nail biters, like this
Atlanta Dream game.
like this Atlanta Dream game. And I believe throughout the whole season too, they've been almost neck and neck. They just been losing it in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So they just really gotta practice closing out toward the end of the game, whether that's conditioning practice or
Better depth.
yeah, or just trying to hit their shots because the game before that, New York Liberty, only scoring 1 3-pointer with 7 minutes remaining,
Mm-hmm.
kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm. Even though we won that game, but yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's still not that good. I mean, if there's because 7 minutes is a long time for basketball. So if you're not able to score in 17 minutes, you either got to get real lucky and hope the other team isn't scoring. You got to have real good defense to make sure the team doesn't score, or you got to score. But I mean,
Yeah.
but that was either they got lucky or they just played real good defense against the Liberty. That's really all I got for the Wings, though. You want to move on to the next sport we want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about FC Dallas real quick. We had one game this last week against New York City FC, NYCFC. It was a tough loss. It was an eventful loss. We ended up losing this game 4-3. And the scoring started early in the 11th minute. Off of a corner kick, they score off of a nice header. It was the player's first goal. So they take the lead 1-0. 4 minutes later, with a little bit of sloppy play from both sides, we sort of turn the ball over, like 3 passes in a row. Then we get control. Musa's able to get a goal in the 15th minute. I mean, it was a nice finish. He's a quality player. And then 2 minutes later, nice from midfield, we had a free kick and a nice long pass finds Farrington, who has almost a one-on-one with the goalie, and he nets the goal. We take the lead 2-1. And then in the 22nd minute, 5 minutes later, really eventful first 25 minutes. And 22nd, they get a nice pass, and he dribbles right between 2 of our defenders and has a pretty easy one-on-one with the goalie. Has right in the middle of the box, has the entire net. It's a pretty hard play not to score on that one. But, I mean, he did a good job getting past our defenders. They tie it 2-2. And then quiet for a little bit. Then in injury time, in the 53rd minute, still the first half, our offense has some nice play. A pass from Farrington to Moore, get a shot, rebounds off the goalie. Farrington gets there for the rebound and scores, gets his second goal of the game. And we go into halftime up 3-2. Then immediately after half, in the 46th minute, the first minute back, or the second minute back, whatever, on a counterattack, they get past our defense pretty easily and score the ball to tie it up. And then in the game, we both had pretty decent chances. And then it's not until the 84th minute where they just run past our back line, catch them back footed, and get a nice pass. He's running, our guys are backpedaling, and then he's gone with the win. Has an easy 1-on-1, and they score, um, taking the lead 4-3, and that would be the final score. It's the same issue we've been having all season. But even more so now, I think our offense has really started to catch their stride these last couple of games. We're starting to be like a force. We have a lot of confidence. Musa has 5 goals in the last 3 games, 8 goals in the last 8 games. Um, um, Again, Farrington had a great performance in this game. Sam Sarver has been pretty significant in the 2 games he's played in. Our offense has been rolling, but our defense just continues to be a liability. Especially against counterattacks and rushes. It's like we get caught off guard way too often, where we end up backpedaling and someone gets past us with some speed, and then it's all up to Boss to make a good save. And I mean, he's been making a lot of good saves, but we're just giving him too many chances. I mean, like off their first goal off the corner kick, there's not much you could do. It was a nice corner. He beat his man and got up there, and it was a nice header. But like these counterattacks and these rushes, we're just allowing too many of them, and allowing too many of them to be quality shots. We're not interrupting enough. So yeah, it's the same issue. Our defense just hasn't been able to execute, and again, I think our offense has been better, especially these last 5-ish games. But it hasn't amounted to much. I mean, again, we won last week, but yeah, a tough loss here. Losing 4-3, never feels good. Their guy got a hat trick. Martinez got a hat trick. Never feels good. And FC Dallas continues to be FC Dallas this season. We are now 6, 7, and 11, still 12th in the West. And that's soccer. That's FC Dallas. Yeah, that's FC Dallas. Yeah, that's FC Dallas. The games are frustrating to watch.
Because the defense.
Because the defense.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have to depend on the goalie a lot. So isn't that like how when the Stars were in the playoffs? Isn't that like what we were talking about? How the other team were able to get a lot of shots on goal, and how we were saying how the goalie gets tired, they're eventually gonna let up a shot.
Yeah.
Is this like how that is for hockey, or is it because like for soccer they get overwhelmed because everybody crashes the goal?
No, so it is.
Or
It's like how it is for hockey, but expanded more so. I mean, soccer. I mean, shots aren't rare. Obviously, you're gonna have a handful of shots every game, but obviously in hockey, you get 30 whatever plus shots, and it's not an overwhelming amount to like 35. Where you're like, this is way too many shots. Once you're at like 5 shots on goal in soccer, you're like, this guy's starting to get tired, because it's a much bigger net. You're on your feet. Yeah. So I mean, again, it's what we're giving up a lot of run-on-ones because we're giving up counterattacks and rushes where we just let the one guy sprint past us, and the pass is made while he's still on side. We don't do anything. We don't do anything to cut off that pass or to slow the guy running down, so he gets a one-on-one chance with the goalie. It's just like you just have to trust your goalie to be better at soccer against this guy too many times. And I mean, it's obvious 1-on-1 is always favorable for the shooter. And I mean, it's been the case for us too. I mean, we've scored a handful of 1-on-1 goals. Yeah. we're just relying too much on pass, definitely.
Mhm. And the defense too, like how you said, he was just able to sprint past the defense, and the defense was just backpedaling.
Mm-hmm.
Is it is it just because they got a bad defense, or they just show no effort on defense, or
So
because
it's weird. I don't know. Again, last week I think our defense played pretty well. We were interrupting passes. We were slowing down runs. Um, but my biggest complaint for the first half of the season was our defense was sort of seemed like very passive once they got into our side of the field, their offensive side of the field, our defensive side of the field, and we just sort of held our positions, the defensive positions that like when you throw up the soccer field on a chalkboard, you say, "This is your spot." It felt like our defensive players were like, "Okay, this is my spot," and they're just sort of staying there, hovering, and letting players like they weren't letting players in their spot, but like balls were just freely being passed through in between them. And then recently, as of late, it's been a lot more. We're just letting them go by untouched on counterattacks and on just rushes where a player will start sprinting, and it's usually you're like, okay, this guy's trying to go for a run, where they start sprinting from like 15 yards beyond the offside line, the last defender,
yeah.
and then a couple of feet before they cross that, the guy will pass it so they can get the ball with speed if they pass it right. But like as a defense, you have to recognize this guy's trying to get a running start to get past us, and the ball is going to be passed to him, or at least it's a possibility, and you gotta account for that. Whether it's someone really trying to disrupt the pass over there, or you sticking with this guy that's already running full speed. And especially in the last two goals in this game, we just sort of didn't do that. And like once the ball was passed, then we sort of turned and ran. But like that's way too late already. And you have to have the awareness. You have to like see that the play is happening before it happens, which it just didn't really happen.
So like their reflexes aren't really that fast.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, because that is weird. Because somebody like me, who doesn't really watch soccer,
Mm-hmm.
if sorry, if I just saw that somebody was just running past the defense, I'll just be like, oh, they're not even trying to play.
Yeah.
Like to me, it would look like you're not trying to play.
No, it's definitely like they're definitely, especially there's definitely plays where it seems like they're being lazy, and it's been happening all season. And it's been like that just wasn't like good effort.
Yeah. You think at that point too it was maybe because they were also tired, or
I mean, sure, but
that's not really an
soccer.
excuse
It's
anyway.
the sport. Sport is 45 straight minutes of running,
Yeah.
and I mean they're professionals, so obviously it's a factor, but it's also a factor for the other side. You can't let that be like, well, I guess that means it's okay. No, you're supposed to be the guy that can do it, even though you've been running for 45 minutes straight. But also, I guess the 84th minute. But that was the first minute back from halftime.
Oh yeah, they should have been rested completely.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we haven't been good, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah, and it's the same thing I've been saying all season. Our offense has been pretty decent. Our goalie's been pretty great. Our defense has been pretty bad, and that's continuing. But that's soccer. Now let's talk about baseball, huh? Let's talk about baseball. Baseball's fun. Baseball's eventful.
The Rangers have been turning it on a little bit.
Rangers have been turning it on a little bit. At least last week. This week, cooling down a little bit, but we're still playing good baseball, for the most part. And then of course the trade deadline has happened. Let's go through it. Trade deadline was yesterday, ended at 5:00. I'm gonna go through the games first, and then I'll give my thoughts on trade deadline because I don't know how long I'm gonna be talking about that for. Um, of course, this last week we finished our. Or we didn't finish. We started and finished our series against the Braves. Swept them. Feels pretty good. Game 1 we win 8-3. Excuse me. Game 1 we win 8-3. Valdi pitches 5 innings, no earned runs. Excuse me. Give me 1 second. I need to drink water. It's hot.
Baseball. Rangers actually, to me, have been doing better recently. But I think the Rangers were also one of the teams that could have been able to turn it on after, was it All-Star break?
Mm-hmm.
And I think they've been doing that for most of the part. Hopefully they can continue to do that to keep winning games.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, until the Angel series, we had won every series since the All-Star break, and I want to keep doing that. We need to win like 70% at least of our series if we want to win the division and or make the playoffs at all.
And I think it showed. I think it's been showing what you said in the beginning of the season. They were losing. They didn't have that good of a record, and you said they're way better than what their record shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I think these games that they've recently played, or maybe not very recently, but the games that last couple of weeks really showed what you meant, that they're a really good team and their record just wasn't showing it.
Well, let me call you a liar for a minute now. I mean, yeah, we definitely been playing good. Again, I mean, we swept the A's, and then they immediately swept the Astros. But, I mean, the A's obviously aren't a premier team. Neither are the Braves. Again, we swept the Braves. Not exactly a premier team. They're not a terrible team, but they're not a good team. You know, they're not going to be a playoff team.
Yeah.
And we want to be winning against playoff teams. Let me go through this series. We win the first game 8-3. Evaldi pitches 5 innings, no earned runs. Webb comes in, doesn't allow a run. Latch struggles, allows a run in the 7th off a home run. Then Milner comes in, does his job. So does Armstrong. Bushley allows 2 earned runs in the 9th, and Garcia comes in, shuts it out. We end up winning 8-3. Our offense obviously did a job here as well. We had 8 hits, 6 walks. Those walks are huge. Only 1 home run. Obviously, we had 8 runs. That's we left 7 on base. We went 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Our home run was who hit our home run? Heim homered in the 2nd, solo home run. Other than that, it was a bunch of regular RBIs. A walk in and a hit by pitching, but generally speaking, a good batting performance, offensive performance. Again, I like drawing walks. We need people on base in order for the hits to matter. So I like having 6 walks, 8 hits. Feels pretty good. That's how you end up with 8 runs. Game 2, we win 6-5, going into extras. Kumar Rocker pitched this game, 4 innings pitch, 3 earned runs. And they got 3-4 innings. Latz comes in, pitches a good inning. John Gray comes in. Welcome back, John Gray, from injury. He hasn't played all season. Welcome back. He comes in, pitches 3 innings, allows 1 run. Armstrong comes in, pitches 2 innings, allows 1 run in the 9th so that they would take the lead. Then in the bottom of the 9th, Heim hits a double to score Haggerty. Beautiful. Top of the 10th. Armstrong finishes it out. And then Simeon comes in after they intentionally walk Seager, and Bing Bang gets Scoresmith gets the RBI, gets the walk off. He had been hit in the face earlier this game, hit the helmet, scary scene, but he was fine. Ends up hitting a walk off, beautiful. Um, Again, in this game we had a total of 8 hits, 4 walks. Again, a good game. We left 7 on base, went 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Perfectly good stat line. Love to see it. 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position is pretty dang good. That's basically means at least 4 runs batted in, but obviously more than that. Then game 3, we win 8-1. A great pitching performance from Leiter, 6 innings pitch, 1 earned run, quality start. Bushley and Wynn come in, do their job, don't allow a single run. Our offense, we scored 8 runs. In 2 of the games and 6 runs in the other. This game we had 10 hits, 5 walks. Again, we're starting to watch the ball more. Again, these walks are a big thing. I'm bringing these up for a point later. 5 walks, 8 hits, or 10 hits. Left 7 runners on base, 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Had Josh Smith had a home run. And yeah. Great batting performance, great pitching performance. End up winning 8-1. Sweep the Braves. Again, Braves not a premier team, not a terrible team. But we want to do this against playoff teams. But definitely good, but momentum builder. Or so you thought. No. But then we travel to LA to play the Angels and have a rough series there. We lose the first game 6-4. DeGrom pitched in this game, 5.1 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. He actually allowed 2 home runs off of him. That were the big ones. There was a 2-run home run in the 3rd, and then another solo home run in the 6th. It was a back and forth offensive ball game before. Before that, then they sort of ran away with it. Yeah. Sorry. They ended up winning 6-4. We had 6 hits in this game and 7 walks. And there were also an error that kept us in this game for longer than we would have been otherwise. And by Campero in right field. And I'll say this, the series against the Angels, a sloppy, gross series, a lot of errors, a lot of drop balls that aren't technically errors on both sides of the ball, which makes it, for me, a lot worse that we didn't win this game. They had, we both sides of the ball had errors. They had a lot more errors than us. The fact that we lost the series hurts. But yeah, we had left 9 on base in this game, 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Also, Jock Peterson is back. Welcome back, Jock Peterson. Please go away. I don't like Jock Peterson's not doing good. Game 2, we lose 8-5. Patrick Corbin's pitching, 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. Then John Gray comes in, allows 4 runs in less than an inning. Tough outing for John Gray, and really hurt us, obviously. And after John Gray, they end up with a big lead. And we can't dig out of that hole. They end up winning 8-5. Our offense, we actually had 14 hits in the game, more than their 6. But we couldn't score much with those. We left 8 on base. We didn't have a single walk in this game, which I think is the reason we lost. We didn't have a single walk this game, despite having 14 hits. We left 8 on base, went 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position, and a couple of errors. Garcia and Smith both had an error. There was another one that isn't technically an error, but again, also the Angels had 2 errors. So a sloppy series. Why is this here? This isn't right. Show me. The game 3 we win. Game 3 we won. We won a score to a score. Sorry. My notes got a little jumbled. Game 3 we end up winning 6-3. We had Evaldi on the mound. And it was a pretty decent quality win. Again, errors on both sides of the ball. There was another one that should have been an error, but technically wasn't. We had 11 hits in this game. Evaldi pitched 7 innings, only allowed 1 run. Then Milner, Armstrong, and Garcia came in and did enough. Milner allowed 2 runs, but our offense had scored enough for that to not matter so much. We had 3 walks in this game with 11 hits. One of those hits made a home run from Garcia. Big 8th inning for us is the reason we win this game. That home run from Garcia was in that inning. We left 8 on base, 5 for 13 with runners in scoring position. That 8th inning was actually all with 2 outs, so nice clutch play. From the Rangers, they end up using like 3 relief pitchers in that inning alone. Good win. This one did feel good to win. Had a good inning. Again, sloppy series. I was in disbelief. My brother was watching with me, and I was just like, this has been disgusting. A lot of errors on both sides of the ball. And a couple of plays that weren't technically errors, but were errors. But yeah, we ended up losing the series to the Angels, which again, because of how many errors were committed, I feel like losing that series is a little more embarrassing and it feels a little worse. But maybe that's just my feeling. We had a lot of hits in a decent amount of games. And we couldn't turn those into too many runs. Yeah. I feel like we really wanted to win this series with the Angels. I said that last week. And that didn't happen. Whatever. Yesterday we played the Mariners and we lose 6-0. Pretty tough. We had 4 hits. Again, didn't score a single run. Kumar Rocker, 4.2 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. They didn't score on him until the 4th, and then they also scored on him in the 5th. He gets pulled. Then Latz comes in, allows 2 more runs, or 2 more earned runs. And yeah. And then there was a wild pitch that's being credited to Higashioka as an error or as a passed ball. So it's not an earned run for Latz, but he allowed 3 runs. Our offense, again, we had 4 hits. We were shut out by Kirby. I mean, Kirby's a great pitcher, but we were completely destroyed by him. We only had 4 hits. Um, 2 walks. We left 5 on base. Went 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position. That's Higgy, Seager, Garcia, and Smith. So batters that we want in that position. But again, I mean, we were pretty shut out by Kirby. And the bullpen did enough to keep us that way. This is a 4-game series. We got 3 more games left in this series. Really, we want to at the very least split this series. I mean, Seattle is the team that's 1 game ahead of us in the last wild card spot. After this last week, we're 57 and 53. Still third in the AL West, 5.5 games behind the Astros, 1 game out of the wild card. Seattle's the team in the wild card spot. So we want to at least break even this series, but obviously the hope is that we win. But Seattle actually added some pieces. So let's talk about the trade deadline. Also happened yesterday at 5. Seattle adds Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez, 2 guys who did some damage to us yesterday. The Astros add Carlos Correa back, and they also added that other guy that I'm forgetting. Check who the Astros added, if you can. Who did the Astros add? The Astros added Carlos Correa, and they added that other guy. We, at the trade deadline, didn't do anything until the last hour. We didn't make any trades until the final hour of the trade deadline day. Actually, that's not true. We traded away Cole, Kamal, something like that, for cash considerations early in the day. And we didn't do anything until the final hour, where we made some moves, I guess. We traded for Danny Kalum, left-handed pitcher from the Twins. We gave up Garrett Horn, someone who this is honestly a pretty good trade. I think Garrett Horn wasn't too significant, and Kalum has had a great season. He's in his 11th season, has about a 3.4 ERA, if I'm not mistaken, which I might be. Career ERA, but this season has a 1.16 through 40 appearances, has a 9K to 9 ratio, so he averages a strikeout an inning. So this was a pretty good trade. I don't think we gave up a lot. We got him. He's fine. It looks like he'll be our closer. So this is the closer I said I wanted to pick up. He only has 2 saves. He wasn't a primary closer for the Twins, but again, 1.16 ERA will be the lowest in our bullpen. So definitely has the ability to fill that role for us. But who knows? We might just continue to be one of the closers we use in the closing rotation. Because again, that wasn't his primary role with the Twins either. So we'll see what Bochy does. But a good bullpen piece. Then the big one. We trade for Merrill Kelly from the Arizona Diamondbacks, their ace this year. And we give up Cole Drake, Mitch Bratt, and David Hageman, who were our number 5, number 9, and number 13 prospects. So gave up a lot for Merrill Kelly. This is the last year of his contract, so this is a rental. But Merrill Kelly makes our starting rotation, in my opinion, the best in the MLB. And in everyone's opinion, consensus, we're at least top 3. So we are now an even bigger force than we already were in terms of our pitching. Give up a lot of future pitching prospects for it, for a one-season guy. Is it worth it? I don't know. I don't personally think so. because our starting pitching was already so good. We got John Gray back. I mean, he's been in our bullpen, but I don't necessarily believe this was needed, and we gave up a lot for him. And again, it's just for the remainder of this season, so it's tough. But obviously, if we can win every 3 and 5 games, or 3/5 of of rest of the game for the rest of the season and beyond, because we shut him out 3 games out of every 5, then yeah, it's worth it. But it looks like we might need to do that. I don't know. Then we traded for Phil Maton or Matin. I don't know which way it is. And we gave up Mason Molina, Skylar Hales, and future considerations and money. And for another bullpen piece, he has a 2.35 ERA this season through 40 games, 48 strikeouts, has a 1.12 whip percentage. So our pitching got better, but our pitching wasn't really the issue. We didn't get a single bat, and it frustrates me. It does, because again, sure, like, especially with how our game against Seattle last night went, it made me be like, oh wow, well I'm glad we did that at the trade deadline. We needed a bat. I really expected to get somebody. I mean, and I really wasn't expecting to get a starting pitcher. I thought maybe we were going to trade away a starting pitcher, if you guys remember that. I was not expecting to get a starting pitcher. We really needed a bat. We still don't have a consistent, always plays first baseman. It's still a rotation of Rowdy Tellez, Jake Berger, and sometimes we have Ezekiel Duran and Josh Smith there. And we didn't answer that situation. We still don't have a DH that's actually a power bat. Half the time our DH is Josh Smith, who is a leadoff guy. I mean, and he's one of the best. But generally in the DH, you want the guy that will hit home runs. And we don't have that. Obviously, Jock Peterson was supposed to be that. But he's back. He's been back for 4 games now. And he's got on base once with a walk and hasn't got on base any other time. A handful of strikeouts, a handful of easy outs to the infield. Jock Peterson continues to struggle. Obviously, we can't send him down to the minors. It looks like we couldn't get rid of him as a trade. But we didn't get a bat. Whatever. Keep him on the bench. I don't care. We needed a bat, dude. Said we get Merrill Kelly, who's not cheap starting pitcher. And again, yeah, we probably have the best starting rotation in baseball now. But that doesn't matter. If they let in 1 run, they're going to win 30% of the time at least. If not, they score 2, they're going to win 80% of the time, it seems like. And again, there's obviously been, our offense has been so much better since July 7th or June 7th. Our offense has been so much better, but either way, we would really appreciate the bat. Dude, we needed a bat. We needed a bat. It's it feels like the expectation is we win a game 3-0, 3-2, 3-1, 2-1, 2-0, 1-0. Maybe our pitcher shut him out. Well, we're gonna lose. Like, we're not. It feels like we're going in for the rest of the season with the mindset we're not going to score that many runs. We just have to make sure they don't score any. And I don't think that's how you win baseball games. I don't think that's how you win baseball games, especially against playoff teams. They're going to score runs. If we want to be in that conversation, and we are right now, again, we're only 1 game out of the wild card spot. I don't know. Our offense was already picking up, but we have to pick it up a lot more than we already were. And I don't care how much we're paying Jock Peterson. I don't care about this or that. He cannot be in the starting lineup since he's been back. I think he's been in the starting lineup 4 out of the 6 games since he's been back, and we've lost all 4 of them. So he came back in the first game against the Angels. Obviously, again, he's only been on base once. He didn't get on base, went 0 for 4. Second game against the Angels, same thing. He didn't play in the third game against the Angels. We actually won that game. First game with the Mariners, he walked once and then went 0 for 2, I think. Peterson is just not Jock Peterson for us. I don't know. Maybe we killed him. Maybe he's just became bad. I don't know. But having him in the starting lineup is actively detrimental, and I don't want him there anymore. We were barely surviving with a decent to good offense without Peterson in the lineup. Now we have a rotation of Rowdy Tellez, Jake Berger, Ezekiel Duran, doing this weird mishmash, just trying to stay above water, which we were doing. And you throw Jock Peterson, it's like throwing a fucking anchor onto a fucking life raft. Sorry for cussing. Excuse me. Excuse the language.
True Ranger fan rant.
It's just, we needed a bat, dude. And some people in social media were like, you should have traded Jock Peterson. No one was going to buy Jock Peterson. We would have had to eat like 40% of his contract anyways if we traded away Jock Peterson, which honestly might have still been worth it. But it's just, we needed a bat, dude. Instead we get 3 pitchers. They're good pitchers. Again, our pitching is probably the best, and it's generally accepted now, top 3 at least in the MLB. But oh man, we needed someone that could hit the ball. But I still have a bunch of faith. The reason I'm frustrated is because I believe fully that we're still a playoff team, and that we're gonna be there. We're gonna be in the mix. It's just, we really need to lean more into focus on getting on base. Let's get a couple of walks. Watch pitches. Wait for the pitch you want. That's like, especially I think if you watch Jonah Heim and Adolis Garcia especially, dude, it just feels like they're just swinging at the ball. It feels like me when I play MLB The Show. Dude, I can't tell where that ball is going. They're just swinging and hoping it's somewhere where they like it. Garcia's been a little better, and Heim has been a little better. He's drawn a couple more walks this last couple of months, last month and a half. But it's just, we got to lean even more into that philosophy. Watch pitches. Wait for your pitch. And again, we've been doing a lot better. Everybody on the team has been hitting a lot better. Simeon, Seager, Smith, Garcia, Heim. Higasioka's been a decent. We just have to keep leaning more into that because it seems like CY has just sort of accepted we're a mediocre to decent offense at best. Let's make the pitching staff unstoppable. And sure, like if we shut him out, hopefully we can get 1 run. But I don't like playing that kind of baseball at all, even a little bit, dude. I don't like playing that kind of baseball. Oh, it's so. I don't like playing that kind of baseball, and I don't know if that's how you win in the playoffs. Definitely, you need to be able to score. And again, our roster is fully capable of scoring. If they play to their ability, but they've been getting closer and closer to that. But I still don't think they're 100%. Still, as good as we've been since June 7th, I don't think we've been 100% of what our offense can be, and I don't know if we'll get there. Especially if we had Jock Peterson, and especially if you don't give us a freaking consistent first baseman bat. That's what I want, dude. I wanted Naylor or O'Hearn so bad. Uh, we didn't even go to get like Ozuna from the Braves or anything. Who I don't think would have been that good an ad, but he would have been better than whatever we're doing right now. But again, the reason I'm so frustrated is because I fully believe we're going to be in the mix. I don't even know if my mic sounds good right now. I'm moving around so much. But I fully believe we're going to be in the mix. And that's why I'm frustrated. Because, I mean, if we can, again, I want to see like at least 15 shutouts for the season with the pitching rotation we have. And obviously that's what Chris Young wants to see too. Like that has to be what you're hoping for with making these trades at the trade deadline. I want to see at least a quarter of our games be shutouts for the rest of the season, which is insane and ridiculous. And that's not going to happen. But I feel like that's what we need to happen. At least give me 10 shutouts. Because that's what you're hoping for. I think that's what you're hoping for with the moves you make at the trade deadline. You want a pitching rotation that literally allows 0 runs in a fifth of their games, a fourth of their games. Because our offense, we're not gonna lose your boo. And we'll see.
No, I think it's also frustrating. No, I just think it's also frustrating too because even the handful of games that started the season, you said that that you could obviously tell that the batting wasn't that good. The pitching was really good too. But what's great about having good pitchers if you can't hit, like you said. But so like for somebody like me, who doesn't really watch baseball, or hasn't really kept up with the Rangers that much, I was even thinking that they were gonna get some people that could hit too.
I mean, everyone was, dude. I can't. Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even though I didn't.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not that active of a Rangers watcher, even I knew, or would have hoped for a hitter. I think that's what makes it frustrating too, because it's been shown since the beginning of the season, and I think usually with sports you don't really find out until a few months in. But it's like what the Rangers. Everybody knew the first handful of games.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to sneeze.
You're good. Yeah, it's just because I know we can be good. I'm pretty certain we're gonna be fighting for the wild card spot, if not the division, but we need to hit more. So we just hope that our offense picks it up. But like if we get shut down by a great pitcher every time, then we just have to hope that our great pitchers do the same thing, and hope that once we get into extra innings, we can score off their bullpen better than they can score off our bullpen. It's just too much, man.
Yeah, too much to hope for.
Too much to hope for. Like our batting really has to pick up for me to be, oh yeah, baby, about it, But that's the trade deadline. Again, the Mariners pick up the bats they needed. The Astros pick up the pieces they needed. And I feel like we just got weird. We got better, definitely, but we got weird better. We'll see. We finish our 4-game series against Seattle again. I feel like we need to at least split it. If not, win the series. We'll see. Tonight, lighter pitches. So it's the weak part of our rotation. Rocker, then lighter. And then we'll be back to our best trio in the league. And so we should look to at least split it. But if Leiter can win tonight, then hopefully we can win the series. We'll end up tying Seattle for the last wild card spot. If we do that, no, we'd take the lead. If we split it, we'd be tied for the last wild card spot. And again, we need to win the majority, at least 65-70% of the remaining series. We need to win. And if we can sweep a handful of them, beautiful. We need to do a reverse 2023 Rangers thing, where that season we were super dominant in the first half. In the second half, because of injuries, we were one game below 500, I believe, or two games below 500 in the second half. We need to do the complete opposite. We need to dominate this second half hard. And again, with our pitching rotation, entirely possible to just get a bunch of shutouts or a bunch of one-run games. And so we won't need that many runs to win. And if our batting keeps getting better, I mean, again, it's entirely possible. That's why I'm so, if we had one more bat, I wouldn't just be saying it's possible, I'd be saying it's probable. But if our offense continues in the direction they've been the last month and a half, then we're there. We're for sure there in the playoffs, if not winning the AL West. And it starts with the rest of the series against Seattle. Again, we need to at least split it. We can't lose this series. And then we have the Yankees here at home after that. And that's going to be a tough series. And if we can win that series, then again, that's us proving, hey, we're there. We're a top dog. Yankees are obviously a playoff team. Bought a bunch of pieces at trade deadline like they always do because, they're the Yankees and they don't care about money. So a dangerous team or a tough team. And if we can win that series, then again, it's like proof that, hey, we deserve to be there. But losing to the Angels is sort of a statement that, hey, kind of don't deserve to be there. Every series matters from here on out. We need to win most of them, if not. Obviously we're not going to win all of them. But we need to win a lot of them. A big majority of them. Not just, we need to win 2 more than we lose. We need to win 15 more series for us this season. But that's where we are. And if we can win the series against the Yankees, it feels pretty good. But yeah, that's where we are. Again, sitting at 57-53. Second game against Seattle is tonight. Our pieces should be, people we traded for should be joining us. And we'll see what ends up happening with that. But yeah. That's the Rangers, and I think that's the podcast.
Yeah.
You got anything?
Yeah, that's... no, not really.
It's the Rangers, and I think that's a podcast. I think I talked about the Rangers for a while. Even though we only had 3 teams, this podcast is over an hour. So I feel like most of that was me talking. Sorry.
But the Rangers are in an important spot right now, so it
Absolutely.
only makes sense.
Yeah, it's just after the trade deadline. And we gotta win. Baseball's fun, but also I'm sad. I'm stressed. Bless you. And thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. If you did enjoy, like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. I don't know if we've posted on Instagram the last 2 weeks. But we're trying to do more, but I don't know. We're bad at our jobs, so we'll see what ends up happening. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and comment.
The Rangers still need help.
The Rangers still need help. Yeah, thanks for watching. Same time next week. We'll see you.